Assalamu alaikum dear students, how are you? I hope you are making most of your time. Today we are going to discuss an interesting topic, that is active and passive voice. We are going to touch only the simple present tense with its three types of sentences, that are affirmative, negative and interrogative. Now you must be wondering, what are active and passive voices, what is the difference between the two, and most importantly how to identify them or convert them. I will begin my lesson with the definition. What is an active voice? An easy way to identify is that the subject of the sentence is doing the action. In other words, the subject is sending the action to the object. These sentences are known to be active voice. To further explain, I am going to use some examples. The lady plays the piano. If you look at it, the lady here is actually the subject of the sentence. Plays is the main verb and the piano is the object on which the lady is performing the action. In the second one, Ali eats an apple. Ali here is the subject, the doer of the action. Eats is the verb, the action he is performing, and an apple is the object on which the action is being performed. Now if you notice that we use active voice in our everyday life, you use them in your sentences, you read them in your books, but how is it different from passive voice, and what exactly is passive voice? Let's find out. In passive voice, the subject of the sentence receives the action. If you recall previously, in active voice, the subject is actually performing the action, sending the action, but here in passive voice, it becomes the receiver of the action. In other words, subject is no longer active, but being acted upon. I'm going to use the same examples as in active voice to show you. Remember, the first example was the lady plays the piano, but in passive voice it will be the piano is played by the lady. If you look carefully, the lady, which was the subject, has taken the position, the place of the object. The main verb has turned into its third form, past participle form, and the object has taken the place of the subject. So it has become the piano is played by the lady. Next, we move on. Ali eats an apple. That was the active voice, but here an apple, which was the object, has replaced subject, and now it is coming at the beginning of the sentence is, and Ali is now receiving the action. An apple object is eaten, auxiliary with main verb, by Ali, subject, which is coming at the end. Here I would like to give you a little hint. Keep in mind that the main verb is always in past participle or the third form in the passive voice. We use auxiliaries and helping verbs to show the tense. Moving on, if you recall that present tense uses auxiliaries is, am and are. And now I'm going to mention the structure that you are probably familiar with, present indefinite tense, that you've been using for a long time now. Subject, verb in the first form with s or es, and then object. Subject with the auxiliary not, and verb in the first form with object in the negative sentences. And for interrogative, do and does comes first. Subject, verb in the first form plus object. Now I'm going to move on and convert different active voice sentences into passive voice, and we are going to do that with the help of tables. Now the affirmative sentence. If you see, subject is Nancy, verb makes, object tea. Now the tea in passive voice has not become subject, but it has taken the position of the subject. Now it is coming in the first. So tea is made by Nancy. This is affirmative sentence. Moving on, for negative we have Nancy, auxiliary do not make tea. And for passive, the T is going to take the position of the subject. Object is going to come in the place of subject. Tea is not made by Nancy. Now Nancy is receiving the action. Coming to the interrogative. Does Nancy make tea? In passive, it will be changed into is tea made by Nancy? Now, I'm sure that you have understood active and passive for simple present tense. To be honest, they are very easy. Here are a few sentences for you to challenge yourself. He writes letter. Do not play football. Do reporters write news reports? Alia bakes cake every Sunday. They read mails. Now I would like you to pause the lecture and answer these by yourself. Evaluate yourself before resuming the lecture. Okay, here are the answers. Letter is written by him. Letter being singular, that's why we are using is. Football is not played by me. Are news reports written by reporters? News reports are plural, that's why we have used are. Cake is baked every Sunday by Alia. The subject is going to go at the very end of the sentence. Keep in mind, mails are read by them. I hope that the lesson was fun. You understood the topic. Furthermore, if you have any questions, you can send us the email, you can contact us or visit the given website. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.